Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to share with you an update on my funded account challenge with my Forex funds, as well as a breakdown of all the trades that I've taken this week. I've had a really great week this week. I've managed to take some brilliant trades that I'm going to share with you, and I've managed to finish the week up 2.5% on my account. Now, keeping in mind that I've actually reduced my usual risk, because I usually risk 1% per trade, 1% of my account. Whereas because I'm currently in drawdown on my account, to reduce the risk and the risk of my emotions taking control, I've decided to halve my account risk per trade from 1% to 0.5%. So what this means is that ordinarily, if I'd have taken my usual percentage risk per trade, I would actually be up 5% on the week, which is one of my best weeks. But I'm still really happy being up 2.5% on the week, making some really good progress on my account challenge. So stick around, we'll jump onto the charts and I'll break down my account data with you, as well as my trades taken this week. FXView are a trading broker, allowing access to different markets such as Forex, commodities, indices and stocks. FXView have some great features that set them aside from other brokers, including raw spread accounts, low cost commissions, deep liquidity, high leverage up to 500 times your account size. EAs and hedging are both allowed. They also have multiple trading platforms including MT4, MT5 and ACTrader. There are no fees for deposits or withdrawals. And most importantly, FXView are licensed and registered with many different global regulators, including the Financial Conduct Authority. You can open an account with FXView with as little as $5. Alternatively, if you're not ready for a live trading account, you can open a free demo account which allows you to practice trading in a risk-free environment. Check out the link below in the description to start trading with FXView today. Hey guys, so I'm just in my broker here. I'm in MetaTrader 4 with my Forex funds loaded up. As you can see, it says demo account because I am currently in the challenge. So I started with an account balance of $50,000 just over a week ago. So this is the end of my second week, the end of week 2 in my challenge. If you missed a recap from last week, I'll include a link above. I actually had a pretty rough start to the week and I took a loss on the account of 3%, but this week I've managed to claw back a lot of that and I finished the week up 2.5%. The time that I'm recording this video, Friday the 26th of November, I actually started the day with my trades concluded. I wasn't in any trades and I pretty much told myself I was happy with that. But when I looked to update my watch list for the day, I found a couple of potentials and have actually been triggered into a trade here on USD yen. But because it's unrealized and I'm still in the trade in its early days, I'm just ignoring that trade for now. So let's go into my account history and I'll make this a bit bigger so you can see exactly what it is I've been doing this week. So as it stands, I've taken 8 trades this week. I've had 3 losing trades, 2 break-even trades, and 3 winning trades. But my winning trades were considerably larger than my losing trades, which is how I've managed to finish the week up with a nice green profit of $1,308, which equates to around about 2.5%. So let's have a look at some of the trades that I've taken this week. So starting on Monday the 22nd of November, my first trade that I was in on this day was for CAD yen. And the trade pretty much follows my trading plan for trading the 4-hour time frame, swing trading using reaction leg measurements and market structure to get into a trade. I'm going to actually share a video next week, a backtesting video, which will share a lot more information on my strategy for swing trading the 4-hourly time frame. There's going to be a lot of really good information in there, so if you're interested in catching that, make sure you subscribe below and make sure you have the notification bell turned on so that you get a reminder for the video. But as you can see here, I used this previous reaction leg measurement, applied it to the new low, and had this area drawn out as a possible area for an entry short. And after we had this bearish rejection candle here, I actually got into this market short, but as you can see, it didn't quite work out and it went up to my stop. I also set a few trades on the Monday that were carried forwards to the next day, so they didn't actually come to fruition until the following day, and one of those was Euro Swiss. This was another losing trade that I took, again using reaction leg measurements, using the 4-hourly time frame. And I found this trade quite interesting because if we have a look here, I actually took this minor measurement. So this was one of the smaller pullback measurements and applied it to the low. And this is where I got in short, but as you can see, price didn't hold this area and it came up to my stop. When I looked at the market a bit later on to see what happened, this is what happened. This is roughly where my stop was and I got stopped out, but price didn't go much further past that point until it continued down, breaking the lows and forming a new low at the bottom. And the great thing about losing trades is that you can really learn from them, and that's what I did from this trade, because I learned that although I took this minor reaction leg measurement for this entry short, it didn't quite work out. And what was actually better was using the major, so the larger pullback measurement, which was this move here, because it was the largest move in this little swing. And if I apply that to the lows here, you can see that price perfectly comes back and taps that point there. So if I'd have gotten short up here rather than a little bit lower down, I would have still been in this trade and I would have probably made a nice profit from this. So there's just a nice lesson there from this losing trade. Moving on to my break-even trade, which was taken on pound yen. Again, this was on the Tuesday and I was in this position for a few days. I held it over the weekend. I was in a really nice short position from this top here. Price actually came down to a 2R point. So at one point in this trade, I was up 2R in profit, which was about 1% profit. But I was trying to get a lot more profit. I was aiming for a 4R target. And as part of following my plan and setting it and forgetting it, once price had made this new low here, I trailed my stop to break even to reduce the risk, and unfortunately price came back up to my break even stop. Since then it has actually continued selling off, so I probably could have left it and been in the trade, but I find it's always better to manage risk and try to reduce any losers than to just have open positions if the market's turning against you. Next up was my best winner for this week, and it was a really beautiful trade taken on pound New Zealand dollar. Now I actually set this buy limit order on the Tuesday. It got triggered that day, and when I woke up Wednesday morning it hit my profit target. So my trading plan for this trade, which was again taken on the 4-hourly time frame, price had actually pulled back to the major structure, it broken it and pulled back to the minor structure, came back down to the major and started to build a support. So we were starting to see price swinging higher. Although it was previously in a downtrend, it had broken this previous structure here and it was creating new higher highs and higher lows. Now, I used this in conjunction with the daily time frame because for this trade I wanted to make sure that the closing daily was also green, just to support my trend bias for going long. And the way I calculated the entry for this trade was I measured the length of the previous reaction leg, I applied that to the high here, and that's what these blue lines represent, and I basically placed my order just in line with where the structure was forming when price was up this level here. As you can see, price dipped down and the wick just tapped my entry long. It was one of those really nice trades where I get triggered into the trade but don't actually suffer drawdown, and price just went up really nicely to my profit target. I have my target set in conjunction with a break of the swing high and also aiming for the upper median line of the fork. And it's worked out at a 4R target, so I managed to make 4 times what I was risking for this trade. With my reduced risk level meant that I made 2% off this trade. And here is another winning trade that I took on USD Swiss. A similar concept to the trade I just showed you for pound New Zealand dollar. And I've got 2 different images here. The top image is just showing a more zoomed out version of the 4-hourly time frame, just to get an idea of the overall flow of the market and why I drew the fork at these levels here. So although price has been consolidating for a while, we are in an uptrend. We're making higher highs and higher lows. So I was looking long for this trade. Going to most recent price action here, I just used a previous reaction leg measurement, applied it to the highs to find a possible area of pullback. Once price had reached this level, it built some support, started swinging higher up. When it swung up high here, I then set an order for a pullback entry here, and price literally just tapped my entry and triggered me into this trade. And that's where I've been really enjoying trading with my Forex funds, because they have really good spreads. I feel like on other brokers I might not have got triggered into this trade because it was a very, very tight entry. It literally tapped my entry and I was in this trade. Now I just aimed for a break of the previous high, so this worked out at a 2R target, which I managed to get, and this gave me a nice 1% win on this trade. And my third winning trade this week was taken on EuroCAD. This was on the Wednesday. and I made 2.5R from this trade. Again, similar concept, using reaction lag measurements, identified that we were going down. We've been ranging for some time and price had broken the range down with some really nice momentum, and it pulled back up. So I was looking for an area to get in short. I just wanted to find out where the best place was. I used the largest reaction lag measurement in this range, which was here, and applied it to the swing low, which gave me a level here, which, as you can see, we had a big wick rejection at this level, and then we had another wick rejection here. Once we had this closing candle red here where we were rejecting this level once again, I got in with a sell order with a stop above this level and also above this little consolidation here, just to try to have a nice big stop to give it room to move. And I set a target which was just a break of this previous swing low, which worked out at 2.5R. So once again, with my reduced risk, I managed to make about 1.75% on this trade. Another trade that I was in for a couple of days and in the end didn't work out was for Euro Australian dollar. And I think I was quite fortunate with this trade because I got into this for a short position. I identified the area of pullback where I thought price was likely to turn and move lower. And it was consolidating for quite a while in the green. I was in this trade for some time, came back to retest my entry and dropped again, so I was feeling okay about it. But then I started to get a little bit unsure when we had these mirror bars and we had a strong green candle up. I felt like that was a bit of a warning sign, and once we got that appear, I actually moved my stop to break even, because at this point price had actually dropped past my 1R level, so I had reached what I was risking for this trade. And ideally I want price to continue in my favour. I don't want to see mirror bars and price potentially move against me. So to reduce risk, I moved my stop to break even. I didn't want to do that because I still felt like the trade was going to work, but I did it anyway because protecting my account was more important than trying to get a winner. And I'm really glad I did, because price came back and hit my break even stop. And a couple of days later I checked on this market, and this is what happened. It just continued to go straight up. So I managed to save myself a loser on this trade. So they're all the trades I actually took this week. I also noted a few screenshots here of trades that I was very close to taking but I didn't take, which is just for my own lessons really. I think it's good to reflect on the trades you choose not to take, because maybe you could have taken them, maybe you're making the right decisions. It's just always good to learn from them. And here was a trade that I nearly took on pound Australian dollar, but I was just really unsure because at first I was short biased because the trend is down, but we started to break these structural points. We came back up to the major structure, and then I thought of going short again, but then I thought that it looked like it was turning. We had some momentum to the long side, and I just couldn't make my mind up, so I decided to just sit out and watch and see what it did. And in the end, it just went up, so I'm glad I didn't take the short on this trade. Another trade that I didn't take, and it would have lost, so I'm glad I didn't take it, was a long on pound Swiss. We'd broken some structural levels, and I'd used a reaction lag measurement to gauge an entry. Once we had this candle here where wick rejection was rejecting that area and price was bouncing up, I was very close to setting a buy limit for a retest of this level here to get in for a long, but I decided not to because the daily time frame didn't support it. It looked like it needed to pull back some more, so I sat it out, and as you can see, price came down anyway. So I'm still watching this because it has come down to this level here. And I think that if we can build a little bit of support, it might still be a good potential long, but I'm just waiting for the market to give me the signs that it's ready before I get in. And here is another trade that I didn't take, and on this occasion I actually would have won, and that was a long on USD CAD. I'm using the reaction lag measurement, and I applied it to the high, and price didn't actually come down to that level, so I just was a bit unsure whether it needed to pull back some more. After this green candle here, I'd watched this close that day, and I thought I could set an order to retest at the low of that candle, which probably would have been triggered in and it would have probably won. But they're all probablys, and I didn't take the trade, and that's the end result. Oh, and I almost forgot, my final trade taken this week was Australian dollar Swiss, and I set this trade. I was in this pretty much all week, and Friday morning when I looked at the charts, I saw that it came down to my stop with some fierce momentum. Friday morning, I don't know if you guys are trading today, but there's been some big changes in the market. There's been a lot of news. Different world global stocks have dropped, and I think that's having a big impact on the Forex market because we're seeing a lot of positions dropping overall. So this is one of them, Australian dollar Swiss, and I was long, as you can see. After this point here where price closed above structure, but then we had a bearish engulfing here, I started to get unsure and I did think about getting out of this trade, but I decided to just stay in and follow the plan and accept whether it's a win or a loss, which on this occasion was a loss, but that's okay because it was just a minus 0.5% loss. So there you have it, guys. There's my trades that I've taken this week. I hope that you've managed to learn something from them. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you have, be sure to comment below. If you're curious about the strategies and the way I'm analysing price, these are techniques that I've learned with my mentorship from the Story of Price, which I have a link to below as well. It's not an affiliate link, it's just a good recommendation to some really useful educational material. I hope you've all had a great week trading. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop me a like below and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already part of the channel. And I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.